Hello there and welcome to the Healing Insight channel. This evening, we're delving into the magical world of dreams. Each night when you drift off to sleep, something mysterious begins to happen. Your thoughts loosen, your senses soften, and a whole new reality begins to unfold. Scenes appear without effort. People step into view and entire stories unfold as if spun from nothing at all. Dreams can feel like a puzzle, a mirror, or a journey. They carry fragments of memory, flashes of imagination, and whispers of emotion. Sometimes they lift us into flight. Sometimes they leave us puzzled by their vivid strange. And sometimes they slip away so quickly we wonder if they were ever there at all. If you enjoy gentle explorations like this, you can like and subscribe or leave a quiet thought in the comments. It helps other curious minds find their way here too. But for now, let the weight of the day fade into the background. Get comfortable, breathe slowly, and allow wonder to guide you toward rest. Let's begin. We still don't know exactly what dreaming is for. Dreaming is one of the most enduring mysteries in science. We know a lot about sleep stages, brain rhythms, and chemical changes, but the actual reason we dream isn't settled. Some researchers believe dreams help the brain strengthen memories, like pressing save on the events of the day. Others think dreams allow us to process emotions, replaying difficult experiences in a safer setting, so we feel calmer when we wake. There are also theories that dreams are practice runs for threats, or even training sessions for social interactions. And then there's the idea that dreams are a spark for creativity, combining fragments of memory into something completely new. It may be that all of these are true at once, shifting depending on age, stress, and circumstance. What's certain is that dreaming is not meaningless. It's a window into the brain's nightly work, even if the full purpose remains hidden. Scientists have had two-way chats with lucid dreamers. It sounds impossible, but researchers have managed to communicate with people who are fully asleep and dreaming. The volunteers train themselves in lucid dreaming, the state where you know you're dreaming while it's happening. Before sleep, they learned a simple code. Move your eyes left and right in a set pattern to show lucidity. In sleep. Once they became aware, they used the signal. Researchers then asked questions with soft sounds, lights, or even gentle touches. Dreamers responded by repeating eye movements or tiny facial twitches. In some cases, they solved basic math problems or answered yes or no questions, all while still inside the dream. The conversations were brief, more like exchanging signals than speaking. But they proved something profound. The sleeping brain is not sealed away from the world. Awareness can exist inside a dream and information can move back and forth in real time. The scent of roses can make a nightmare gentler. Smell is special. Unlike vision or hearing, it connects directly to parts of the brain that process memory and emotion. Scientists discovered that this connection remains open during sleep. In one experiment, people were exposed to the scent of roses while experiencing something pleasant in waking life. Later, the same scent was introduced during sleep. The result was surprising. When nightmares happened, the rose scent softened them. Fear and tension were reduced, and the dream's tone often shifted toward calmer, safer feelings. Most people didn't dream about roses at all. Instead, the scent quietly influenced the emotional color of the dream. This finding is more than just interesting. It suggests practical uses. Gentle sensory cues might be able to reduce the intensity of recurring nightmares, giving the brain a subtle push toward comfort. It's a reminder that even in sleep, the world around us can reach inside. A sound played in sleep can strengthen one chosen memory. The brain doesn't just shut down at night. It actively works with the memories of the day. Researchers have found a way to guide that process. Before sleep, people learn something new like word pairs or the layout of objects on a screen. Each set of items is linked to a quiet sound, such as a piano note. Later, while the person sleeps, scientists replay just one of the sounds. Without waking, the brain hears the cue and reactivates the connected memory network. By morning, the items paired with that sound are remembered better than the others. This process is called targeted memory reactivation. It doesn't implant new knowledge, but it strengthens the pathways already laid down. The effect shows how responsive the sleeping brain really is. With the right tutors, we can influence what is remembered, hinting at new ways to boost learning simply by resting. A wearable can plant a dream theme and boost creativity. Dream incubation is no longer just an ancient idea. New devices can gently guide dreams in the moments just before deep sleep. As the body relaxes, sensors in a lightweight wearable detect changes in breathing and muscle tone. At that exact moment, the device plays a soft word or phrase chosen beforehand, like ocean or tree. The cue slips into the hypnagogic state where brief dreamlike flashes appear. If the sleeper stirs, the device asks for a quick spoken description, then encourages them to drift back down. By morning, people often wake with fragments of dreams linked to the theme filled with unusual imagery. Studies show that these guided dreams can spark creativity and flexible thinking, as if the brain has been nudged to explore new connections overnight. It's an early example of technology blending with sleep science to shape imagination in gentle, unexpected ways. In lucid dreams, people have solved problems and blinked the answers. Lucid dreaming is when you realize you're dreaming without waking up. In this state, some people can direct their attention and even influence the dream itself. In sleep labs, researchers have tested whether lucid dreamers can complete tasks. Before sleep, they assign something simple like a math equation or a sequence of movements. Once lucid, the dreamer performs the task and signals the answer by moving their eyes in a prearranged pattern. The results confirm that people can think deliberately in dreams and that imagined movements activate the brain's motor areas as if the body were really moving. Outside the lab, dreamers report creative breakthroughs, composing new music, rehearsing speeches, or finding solutions to problems. Control is never perfect, but the ability to think and act with awareness in a dream offers a unique mental playground where practice and imagination feel strikingly real. Acting out dreams can be an early sign of Parkinson's. Normally, sleep paralyzes most of the body's muscles, keeping dreams contained in the mind. In a condition called sleep behavior disorder, that safety mechanism fails. People may shout, thrash, or leap from bed while dreaming. This can be dangerous. So doctors recommend safety measures like removing sharp furniture and sometimes prescribe medication to reduce symptoms. What makes this disorder especially significant is its link to long-term health. Studies show that many people with sleep behavior disorder develop Parkinson's disease or related conditions years later. It doesn't mean everyone will, but it is one of the most reliable early warning signs of neurodegeneration. For patients and doctors, it provides a crucial window to monitor brain health and prepare. What seems like unusual dream activity can sometimes be the first clue of deeper changes happening long before other symptoms appear. AI can sketch rough dream images from brain scans. Recent experiments have shown that dream content leaves patterns in the brain that can be decoded. Researchers ask volunteers to look at images while their brain activity is scanned. Artificial intelligence systems learn how specific patterns match features in those pictures, things like shapes, textures, or categories. Later, while the person sleeps, the same brain areas show similar activity. The AI uses those signals to reconstruct what might be happening in the dream. The images it produces are blurry and vague, but they often resemble the general category: a face, a building, a forest. Other approaches classify themes like whether the dream includes movement or animals. The technology is still limited, but it proves that dreams leave measurable footprints in the brain. For the first time, researchers are beginning to glimpse inner imagery in real time, raising fascinating questions about privacy and the future of dream science. People born blind dream in sound, touch, and smell. Dreams are not limited to vision. People who are blind from birth still dream vividly, but their dreams unfold through the senses they use most in daily life. Instead of seeing images, they hear voices and echoes that give shape to space. They feel textures under their hands, the vibration of footsteps, or the warmth of sunlight. Smells can define entire settings like the sharpness of smoke or the sweetness of food. These dreams can be just as complex and emotional as those with visual imagery. People who lose vision later in life often continue to dream in pictures for years, though over time their dreams may shift to emphasize other senses. This shows that dreaming is not about eyesight alone. It is about the brain's natural ability to build immersive realities out of whatever sensory material it has available. Your brain paralyzes you during sleep. The brain switches off most voluntary muscles. This paralysis is protective, preventing us from acting out our dreams. but sometimes the process misfires. You may wake into awareness while your body is still locked in metonia. You can breathe and move your eyes, but the rest of your muscles refuse to respond. Many people also experience vivid hallucinations at this point, hearing footsteps, feeling pressure on the chest, or sensing someone nearby. This is known as sleep paralysis. It usually lasts less than a minute and isn't dangerous, but the combination of immobility and hallucinations can be terrifying. For those prone to it, regular sleep schedules and reduced stress can help lower episodes, and simply understanding what's happening often makes the experience less frightening. It is a temporary mismatch between brain and body, not an outside force holding you down. Dreaming also happens in REM, not just REM. For a long time, scientists assumed dreams belonged only to sleep, the stage famous for rapid eye movements and surreal imagery. But when people are gently awakened from other stages, especially the lighter N2 stage, many report dreamlike thoughts and scenes. These NREM dreams are usually less bizarre and more straightforward, often involving daily activities, worries, or problem solving. In the deepest N3 stage, dreams are less frequent, but they can still appear, sometimes with striking clarity. Later in the night, on-REM dreams become more vivid and story-like as the brain cycles between stages and integrates memory fragments. The discovery that dreams are not confined to changed how researchers think about sleep. Instead of being a single isolated phenomenon, dreaming may be a broad property of the sleeping brain, one that appears in different forms depending on which networks are most active at the time. A posterior hot zone predicts when a dream is happening. Dreaming once seemed impossible to measure directly. Then researchers began using high-density brain recordings to track activity during sleep. They found a key pattern in the back of the brain in areas that process vision, space, and body awareness. When this posterior hot zone lights up with high-frequency activity, people are very likely to report a dream if woken. When it goes quiet, even during REM, they often report no experience at all. This finding helps explain why dreams also occur in non-REM sleep. It's less about which stage you're in and more about whether this region is active. Different parts of the HOP zone even map to different dream content like faces, places, or movement. It's one of the clearest biological markers of dreaming we have, offering scientists a way to peek into when the brain is constructing its private movie without waiting until morning. Emotional centers stay active while logic quiets down. When you dream, the brain doesn't shut off. Instead, it changes balance. Imaging studies show that emotion-related regions like the amygdala and hippocampus remain highly active while executive control areas in the prefrontal cortex become much less active. This shift explains why dreams feel so intense yet often make little logical sense. We accept contradictions, sudden scene changes, or impossible events without questioning them. The emotional systems are running hot, but the logical editor is quieter. In lucid dreams, some frontal regions re-engage, letting people realize they are dreaming and sometimes take control. But even then, emotions stay strong. Scientists think this balance may serve a purpose. By turning down strict logic, the brain can explore feelings and memories more freely, rehearse social or threatening situations, and even create new connections. Dreams become a safe space to process emotions while sparing us from waking stress responses. PGO waves ripple as vivid imagery builds. In studies of animals and humans, researchers have noticed brief bursts of activity that sweep through the brain during sleep. These are called PGO waves, named for the path they travel from the pons in the brainstem to the lateral geniculate nucleus and into the occipital cortex that handles vision. They often coincide with rapid eye movements, and many believe they help generate the vivid images that fill our dreams. PGO waves may act like signals marking new scenes, transitions, or shifts in attention. They could also help the brain strengthen memories since they occur alongside activity in emotional and memory-related regions. In humans, they've been harder to measure directly, but EEG and intracranial recordings suggest similar events are present. While we can't yet watch dreams unfold frame by frame, PGO waves give scientists a clue that there is an internal rhythm driving the dream's imagery. Acetylcholine rises as norepinephrine and serotonin dip. Each stage of sleep has its own chemical fingerprint and is especially distinctive. During this stage, acetylcholine levels rise sharply. This neurotransmitter supports cortical activity and helps the brain create vivid immersive imagery. At the same time, norepinephrine and serotonin, chemicals linked to alertness, vigilance, and mood regulation, drop to very low levels. This unusual combination explains much of what makes dreams feel so different from waking life. The brain is highly active but without the normal checks of logic and attention, which allows strange associations and surreal narratives to flow. Dopamine activity shows a more mixed pattern, which may contribute to the emotional charge of dreams. These shifts are not random. They seem designed to support memory processing and emotional resetting. Understanding them also helps explain why certain medications like antidepressants or nicotine patches can change the intensity and frequency of our dreams. The brain's inner critic relaxes, letting stories bend physics. In waking life, part of the brain constantly monitors for errors, enforces rules, and helps us think logically. That network centered in the prefrontal cortex goes quiet during sleep. Without it, the inner critic that normally questions inconsistency steps aside. This is why we accept impossible events in dreams, like teleporting between locations or meeting people who have long passed away. The brain still builds coherent stories, but the boundaries of reality become flexible. Interestingly, when people become lucid, parts of the prefrontal network switch back on, and dreamers can question what's happening and sometimes steer events. Scientists believe this temporary loosening of the rules may serve a function. It gives the mind a chance to explore new ideas, test unusual scenarios, and release rigid patterns. Dreams bend physics not just for fun, but possibly to help us think more creatively and flexibly in waking life. Day residue shows up in dreams with a quirky delay. Our daily lives leave clear fingerprints on our dreams. Events from the day often appear that same night, a phenomenon called day residue. But researchers have also found something stranger. Many experiences reappear after a delay of about a week. This dream lag effect shows up in both emotional experiences and tasks that require learning. It's as if the brain first stabilizes a memory, then revisits it several days later to weave it into broader networks. When these memories come back, they rarely replay exactly. Instead, fragments, a place, a sound, a conversation, are combined with other elements into new scenes. This dual timing suggests that dreaming may be tied closely to the way memories are consolidated in stages. Immediate residue and delayed echoes both give the brain a chance to sort, strengthen, and integrate what matters while letting the rest quietly fade away. Threat simulations often play out safely in dreams. Many dreams feature threats being chased, attacked, or trapped. Psychologists believe this may serve a training purpose. The brain rehearses danger in a safe environment, letting us practice responses without real consequences. Studies comparing dream content to daily diaries show that threatening scenarios are far more common in dreams than in waking life. Interestingly, they often end with escape or resolution rather than harm. Children and people who have faced real danger in life report even more of these dream threats, suggesting the brain may be adapting to their experiences. Not all nightmares are useful in conditions like PTSD. Dreams can become stuck in loops of fear. But overall, the prevalence of threat rehearsal supports the idea that dreams are more than random nonsense. They may act as a built-in simulator, preparing us for challenges while we sleep and easing the emotional weight of waking fears. Social worlds get rehearsed at night like practice runs. Dreams are crowded with people. Most of the characters we meet in dreams are familiar faces, family, friends, colleagues, or blends of several people we know. Researchers call this the social simulation hypothesis. The idea is that dreams let us practice the skills needed to navigate relationships. We negotiate, argue, reconcile, and empathize with others, all inside imagined scenarios. Studies show that dream reports are rich in conversations and social interactions, often more than we would expect compared with daily life. The brain regions involved in understanding others' thoughts and emotions remain active even while logical control areas are quiet. This balance may help us explore different social outcomes without overthinking them. It's like running through possible conversations in advance, testing reactions and easing tensions. Dreams give us a stage to practice being human, rehearsing the roles and connections that shape our waking lives. Dreams remix fragments of life into entirely new scenes. When people recall their dreams, the content rarely matches real events exactly. Instead, dreams take pieces from different times and places and combine them into something new. A cafe you visited last week might merge with a memory from childhood layered with a worry from yesterday. Neuroscience research suggests this happens because the hippocampus reactivates fragments of memory during sleep and the cortex stitches them together into fresh patterns. This process could help us find meaning or extract general rules from specific experiences. It may also fuel creativity, allowing the brain to test combinations that would never occur in waking thought. Studies show that people who dream about a task often perform better on it the next day, as if the brain has been reorganizing and experimenting. Dreams may look random, but their mashup quality could be exactly what helps us learn and adapt. Hypnagogic flashes bloom right as you fall asleep. As you drift from wakefulness into sleep, there's a fragile stage called hypnagogia. It lasts only a few minutes, but in that time, the brain produces fleeting bursts of imagery and sensation. You might see swirling shapes, flashes of light, or fragments of faces that appear and vanish almost instantly. Some people feel a sudden jolt, known as a hypnic jerk, often accompanied by the impression of falling. Others hear short bursts of sound or voices. These experiences happen as the brain's electrical rhythms slow down and attention begins to fade. They are not full dreams, but they reveal how quickly the mind begins to assemble sensory fragments into many stories. Because this state is so suggestible, even a single word or thought can influence what appears. Many artists and scientists have used it as a spark for creativity, catching ideas that seem to surface only on the edge of sleep. Hypnopic echoes linger as you wake up. The transition out of sleep is just as curious as the slide into it. As the brain reactivates, dream imagery doesn't always vanish instantly. Instead, fragments linger in a state called hypnompia. People may wake with voices fading, faces hovering, or scenes dissolving like mist. Sometimes these echoes blend with the real bedroom, creating a strange overlap of dream and waking world. They are most common after sleep when the brain's scene-building areas are still highly active and logical control has only just returned. For some, these experiences are brief and peaceful. For others, especially those with narcolepsy, they can be more vivid and frequent, occasionally paired with sleep paralysis. Most of the time they are harmless, fading within minutes. Yet they reveal how fragile the boundary between dreaming and waking really is. The mind takes a moment to decide which world it is in. Time inside dreams can stretch or compress strangely. Dreams often bend our sense of time. A few minutes of real sleep can feel like an hour of dream experience filled with elaborate events and long journeys. At other times, a dream that seems complete may have lasted only seconds. Experiments with lucid dreamers help measure this. When asked to count to 10 and signal the start and end with their eyes, most counted at about the same pace as in waking life. This suggests that basic timing is preserved. The stretching comes from how dreams skip over transitions, compressing actions into highlights. Emotional intensity can also expand our sense of duration, making moments feel longer. Just as a vivid day can feel endless, a charged dream can feel stretched. The result is that dream time feels elastic, sometimes racing forward, sometimes lingering, giving the impression of entire stories playing out in the space of a single sleep cycle. External sounds weave themselves into the plotline. Even in deep sleep, your ears remain party open. The brain filters out most noises, but certain sounds slip through. Instead of waking you, they are often woven into the dream's narrative. A slamming door may become thunder. A dog barking outside might appear as an animal in the story. A song on the radio can turn into music playing in the background of a dream scene. Researchers use this effect to study memory, playing specific tones to reactivate what someone has learned earlier in the day. These cues are absorbed seamlessly, especially during when the brain is highly active but less critical of what it perceives. The effect shows that dreaming is not cut off from the world. It is a construction that constantly balances inner signals with occasional hints from outside, blending them into whatever story the brain is already creating. Like flashes can appear as lightning or camera flashes. Your eyes are closed in sleep, but light still reaches the retina. Even brief pulses can trigger responses in the visual system. When this happens during sleep, the brain often explains the flash by building it into the dream. A sudden burst of light may become a bolt of lightning, a camera flash, or the flare of headlights. Researchers have tested this by shining gentle, safe pulses of light on sleeping volunteers. Many reported dreams that included flashes of brightness folded into the storyline. Stronger or poorly timed light usually wakes the sleeper, but subtle flashes are often absorbed seamlessly. This finding helps scientists track sleep stages or attempt to influence dream content. It also shows how the brain works to keep its stories coherent. Rather than ignoring the signal, it explains it, weaving outside reality into the ongoing dream. Your own name still cups through from the outside. Among all the sounds that might reach you in sleep, your name stands out. Studies show that hearing your name produces stronger brain responses than hearing other words even when you are unconscious. It can trigger a K complex during lighter NREM sleep or be woven directly into a dream during. People often describe hearing their name called or dreaming of someone speaking to them only to realize it was real. The brain seems tuned to treat personal cues as special, keeping a line of attention open even while most external input is blocked. This makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. Being able to respond to your name could be vital for survival. For dreamers, it highlights how sleep is not complete disconnection. The mind still monitors the environment, and some signals, especially the ones most personally relevant, always find a way in. Pain shows up less often and often feels muted. Despite the intensity of many nightmares, physical pain is rare in dreams. When it does occur, it often feels different from waking pain, less sharp, shorter, or strangely muted. People with injuries or chronic pain sometimes report pain in their dreams, but even then it often shifts, fades, or transforms into symbolic sensations. Scientists suggest several reasons. During sleep, the brainstem dampens sensory input and chemicals linked to pain signaling are reduced. At the same time, attention is focused on imagery and emotion rather than constant bodily monitoring. This may explain why so many dreams revolve around fear, pursuit, or conflict rather than physical suffering. Pain can still appear, but it is usually less central. Understanding this difference also helps clinicians. When patients report pain in sleep, it can be a clue to underlying conditions since it stands out against the normal background of dream life. Tastes and smells appear rarely but still shape emotion. Most people rarely taste or smell in dreams. When these senses appear, they are usually simple. A sip of something sweet, the scent of smoke, or a fleeting flavor. Yet even when we don't notice them directly, they can quietly steer dream emotions. Smell is especially powerful because it connects closely to memory and emotion. Experiments show that pleasant scents introduced during can make dreams calmer while unpleasant scents can darken the mood. People whose waking lives revolve around taste and smell, such as chefs or perfumers, sometimes report richer sensory detail at night. For most, these senses play only supporting roles like background lighting or music, but they still color the dream's tone. They remind us that dreams are built from the raw material of our senses, and even the faintest cue can shift the story's emotional direction in ways we barely notice. Most dreams are in color, despite old black and white reports. Modern studies consistently show that the majority of dreams are in color. Earlier research from the mid-century found more black and white reports, but scientists now believe that was influenced by culture. People who grew up watching black and white films and television were more likely to describe their dreams that way. As color media became common, reports of colorful dreams increased. Today, most people say their dreams are in color, though black and white dreams still happen occasionally. The colors are not always vivid. Sometimes they are muted, and sometimes only a single detail stands out, like a red coat or a bright green sign. Many dreamers don't notice color at all until asked, suggesting the brain fills in scenes so naturally that color feels automatic. This finding shows that dreams are not just biological events, but also shaped by the cultural environments we grow up in. Eye movements sometimes mirror where dreamers look. The rapid eye movements of sleep are more than random twitches. In many cases, they line up with where the dreamer is focusing attention inside the dream. This idea, known as the scanning hypothesis, has been tested with lucid dreamers. Before sleep, They agree to move their eyes in specific patterns when they look at something in the dream, such as left, right, up, or down. When recorded, the signals often match those intentions. Tracking a moving object in a dream can even produce rhythmic eye patterns similar to wakeful pursuit. Not every eye movement reflects dream content. Some are generated internally by the brainstem, but enough correspond to imagined gaze shifts that scientists now use them as time markers, linking specific dream events with measurable activity. These signals give researchers a rare window into the flow of attention inside dreams moment by moment. Motor cortex activates for actions your body doesn't make. When you dream of running, climbing, or playing an instrument, your muscles are still. Yet inside your skull, the motor cortex, the brain region that plans and executes movement, becomes almost as active as if you were awake and moving. Brain scans show that dreaming about specific actions lights up the same circuits used to control those actions in real life. This explains why practicing a skill during the day often reappears at night. Musicians dream of playing scales. Athletes of repeating moves. Even people learning video games dream of the patterns they've just played. The body stays locked by paralysis so you don't leap out of bed, but the rehearsal seems to strengthen motor memory. When dreamers wake, they sometimes perform better, as though their brains had trained while they slept. It suggests dreams might serve as a built-in simulator for practice and learning. Tiny twitches leak through the paralysis as fragments of motion. Sleep usually comes with atonia, a kind of full-body stillness that prevents you from acting out your dreams. But the system isn't perfect. Small twitches often break through. A finger jerks, a foot kicks, or the eyes dart beneath closed lids. For a long time, these movements seemed random, but research shows they may align with the dream itself. A dream of kicking a ball can produce a faint leg twitch, or a dream of speaking might cause subtle lip movements. In animals like cats and dogs, the twitches are even easier to see, and scientists suspect they affect bursts of motor commands that slip past the brainstem's usual block. These tiny leaks are harmless and they give researchers clues about what is happening in the dream. They are little traces of the inner world becoming briefly visible like sparks escaping from a hidden fire. Nightmare frequency rises with stress, then often falls when stress eases. Nightmares are not just random FRE. They are shaped by what's happening in daily life. When people are under stress during exams, after arguments, or while coping with loss, nightmares tend to occur more often. The themes often echo those pressures, though in exaggerated or symbolic form. Interestingly, as the stress fades or is resolved, nightmare frequency often declines as well. This suggests that dreams may be working through the emotional load, staging difficult scenarios until the feelings ease. Nightmares are common during childhood and can spike again during stressful adult periods. While they can be unpleasant, they may serve a function, rehearsing responses, reducing emotional intensity, or signaling when something in life feels unresolved. Understanding this link helps explain why calming routines, therapy, and stress reduction often make nights more peaceful, allowing the brain to rest instead of replaying fear. Nightmares can be treated without medication in many cases. Although nightmares can be distressing, treatment doesn't always require drugs. Therapies that work with the dream itself are often effective. One approach is called imagery rehearsal. A person recalls their recurring nightmare while awake, then deliberately changes its ending to something safer or more positive. They practice imagining this new version repeatedly, almost like rewriting a script. Over time, the nightmare often weakens or disappears. Other strategies involve relaxation, mindfulness, or practicing calming bedtime routines to reduce nighttime stress. For some people, keeping a dream journal helps turning frightening experiences into narratives they can control. Medication is used in certain cases, especially for trauma-related nightmares, but behavioral approaches are usually tried first. These methods highlight an encouraging idea. Our relationship with dreams is not fixed. With practice and guidance, even the most unsettling dream patterns can shift, allowing sleep to feel like a safe place again. Imagery rehearsal therapy lets you rewrite a nightmare's ending. One of the best studied methods for easing nightmares is imagery rehearsal therapy. It begins with writing down the nightmare in detail, capturing the story as you remember it. Then while awake, you change the ending. The monster might become friendly. The fall might turn into flying. The threat might dissolve before it strikes. You rehearse this new version in your imagination each day, training the brain to expect a different outcome. Over time, when the nightmare returns, the dream often follows the rewritten script or loses its power. Studies show this can reduce the frequency and distress of nightmares, especially in people with post-traumatic stress disorder. The approach works because the dreaming brain reuses waking imagery. By planting new versions of the story, you give it alternative paths to follow. Nightmares become less of a trap and sleep becomes a gentler, more restorative experience. Recurrent dreams often resolve when their waking trigger changes. Many people have recurring dreams. The same test they haven't studied for. The same chase through dark streets. The same fall from a height. These repetitions can go on for years, sometimes decades. Researchers studying dream diaries notice something striking. When the real-life concern at the heart of the dream changes, the dream often fades. A student who dreams of failing exams may stop once school ends. Someone who dreams of being lost may find the theme vanish after resolving uncertainty in their life. The recurrence seems to signal that the brain has not yet settled an ongoing worry or conflict. Once the waking situation shifts, the dream no longer needs to repeat. This view suggests that even troubling dream loops may have a purpose. They keep bringing us back to unresolved themes until we've processed them or moved on in daily life. Sleep paralysis blends waking awareness with paralysis. Sleep paralysis occurs when the brain wakes up before the body has released its grip. Normally during sleep, the brain stem switches off most muscle control to prevent us from acting out our dreams. If consciousness returns before that paralysis lifts, you feel awake but unable to move. The experience often comes with vivid hallucinations, footsteps, voices, or a figure in the room because the brain is still partly dreaming. It can be terrifying, and across cultures it has inspired myths of demons, ghosts, and night visitors. Episodes usually last less than a minute and end on their own. They are not dangerous, though they can leave lingering fear. Regular sleep, stress management, and adjusting sleep position can reduce their frequency. For some people, learning to recognize the state allows them to stay calm and occasionally even to transition into a lucid dream instead of panic. Exploding head syndrome blasts imaginary booms at sleep onset. Despite the dramatic name, exploding head syndrome is not harmful, but it can be startling. People experience sudden loud noises just as they are falling asleep or waking up. It might sound like a gunshot, a crash, or an explosion, often accompanied by a flash of light or a jolt in the body. No actual sound occurs. The brain itself is generating the perception. Scientists think it comes from a brief glitch in how the brain shuts down at sleep onset with sensory networks firing all at once. The episode is over quickly, but the shock can leave the heart racing. Many people experience it only once or twice in their lives, while others have it more often. Knowing what it is can be reassuring. It's not a sign of danger or brain damage. It's simply one of the many strange, harmless fireworks of the sleeping mind. False awakenings can stack into dream within dream loops. A false awakening is when you dream that you've woken up only to realize later that you're still asleep. People often describe getting out of bed, starting their morning routine, even brushing their teeth, and then suddenly discovering they are still in a dream. Sometimes it happens more than once, creating a loop of waking up again and again before finally returning to reality. These experiences can be disorienting, especially when paired with sleep paralysis or lingering dream imagery. For lucid dreamers, false awakenings can be a clue that they are still asleep, providing a chance to gain awareness and explore. For others, they can feel unsettling, leaving them unsure of when they are truly awake. The phenomenon highlights how convincing dream worlds can be. The brain can simulate not just fantastic landscapes, but the ordinary details of waking life, blurring the line between dream and reality. Teeth falling and flying are common across many cultures. Ask people about their most memorable dreams, and two themes appear again and again. One is flying, soaring over landscapes, drifting through the air, often with a feeling of freedom. The other is losing teeth, which can be frightening and strangely vivid. These themes show up in dream reports across cultures and eras, suggesting they tap into universal aspects of human experience. Flying dreams may echo sensations of wakelessness in the body during, or they may reflect a deep wish for freedom and control. Teeth-falling dreams are less pleasant, and theories link them to anxieties about appearance, aging, or loss of control. Whether joyful or unsettling, these recurring motifs remind us that dreaming often draws on common human concerns. Our brains may be wired to create certain symbolic experiences, repeating them across centuries and cultures, as if the dream world has its own shared language. Dream recall varies hugely between people and can be trained. Some people wake up with vivid, detailed stories every morning, while others rarely remember a single dream. Studies show that this difference isn't just about how much we dream, but about how we wake and how our brains handle memory during the transition. People who wake up more often during the night tend to remember more simply because they catch dreams in progress. Brain imaging also shows that individuals who recall dreams frequently have stronger activity in regions tied to memory and attention, like the temporal parietal junction. The good news is that recall can improve with practice. Keeping a notebook by the bed, setting an intention to remember, and pausing before moving in the morning all make a difference. Over time, even someone who rarely remembers dreams can start to capture them more regularly, opening a window into a world that might otherwise vanish every morning. Keeping a dream diary boosts recall within days. One of the simplest ways to remember more dreams is to write them down. Sleep researchers have found that people who keep a dream journal quickly notice an improvement in recall, sometimes within just a few nights. The act of writing signals to the brain that dream content matters, so memories are held onto a little longer after waking. The process also strengthens links between the dream and waking memory systems. Even if you wake up with only a fragment, a single image, a word, or a feeling, writing it down makes it easier to remember more the next time. Over weeks, entries often become longer and more detailed. People who practice this regularly start to notice patterns, recurring themes, and emotional threads. A dream diary doesn't just preserve memories. It trains the mind to pay attention to the night, turning fleeting moments into lasting stories. Nighttime awakenings catch more dreams than morning recall. If you rely only on remembering dreams when you wake up in the morning, you're missing much of the night's activity. Research shows that people who are gently woken several times during the night report far more dreams, often from lighter stages of sleep that wouldn't normally be remembered. These dreams can be shorter, less dramatic, and sometimes more realistic than the colorful stories of late nighttime. By morning, many of those earlier dreams have faded, overwritten by later cycles. That's why people who naturally wake in the night often recall more. For those curious about their dream life, setting an alarm to interrupt sleep briefly can increase the number of reports. Though it may come at the cost of feeling less rested, it highlights how fragile dream memory is. Most of our nightly mental activity disappears the moment consciousness shifts fully back to waking awareness. Morning is especially rich in vivid dreams. Non-REM sleep is the same. As the night progresses, periods grow longer and more intense. Early in the night might last only a few minutes. By morning, it can stretch to nearly an hour. These later phases are when the brain shows the strongest activity in visual and emotional areas, and when people report the most vivid story-like dreams. This is why the last dream before waking often feels more elaborate or more real than earlier ones. Morning dreams are also the most likely to involve unusual plots, shifts in perspective, or the feeling of being immersed in another world. They are the dreams people most often remember, not because earlier ones never happened, but because the final cycle is closest to waking. In a way, morning dreams are the brain's closing act before returning you to the light of day. REM rebound after deprivation brings intense frequent dreams. When people are deprived of REM sleep, the brain seems to keep track. In sleep labs, volunteers prevented from entering for a night or two will plunge into it more quickly the next time they rest. The REM phases also become longer and more frequent, as if the brain is making up for lost time. This is called REM rebound. Green reports from rebound nights are often especially vivid, emotional, and intense, sometimes even overwhelming. People may experience multiple nightmares or unusually elaborate storylines. The phenomenon suggests that is not optional. The brain needs it, and if it is suppressed, it compensates. Alcohol, caffeine, or long nights of wakefulness can delay or block them, which helps explain the wild dreams people often report when they finally crash. Rebound is the brain's way of insisting on its nightly work, even if we resist. Antidepressants can change dream vividness and frequency. Many antidepressants alter levels of serotonin and norepinephrine, two chemicals that help regulate sleep. These medications can reduce sleep, sometimes to a fraction of its usual amount. People taking them often notice changes in dream recall. Some report fewer dreams or less vivid imagery, while others describe dreams that feel unusually intense or emotionally loaded. The effects vary by drug type and by individual. For some, reducing may ease distressing nightmares, which is why certain antidepressants are used in treating post-traumatic stress disorder. For others, it can produce restless nights or unusual dream content. These findings highlight how tightly linked dreaming is to brain chemistry. By shifting the balance of neurotransmitters, medications designed for mood can also reshape the inner landscapes of sleep, sometimes in helpful ways and sometimes in surprising or unsettling ones. Nicotine patches can make dreams unusually vivid. People who use nicotine patches to help quit smoking often notice an unexpected side effect. Their dreams become unusually vivid. The effect is well documented in clinical trials. Nicotine stimulates receptors that also play a role in regulating sleep and brain activity. When delivered steadily through the skin overnight, it can intensify the brain's visual imagery, leading to dreams that feel bright, bizarre, or unusually memorable. Some people find these dreams creative and entertaining, while others describe them as unsettling or exhausting. The effect usually fades as the brain adapts or after the patches are no longer needed. The phenomenon is another example of how brain chemistry shapes the dream world. Substances designed for one purpose can alter the balance of neurotransmitters in sleep, revealing just how delicate and responsive the dreaming brain is to small chemical changes. Alcohol suppresses early, then rebounds with heavy dreams. Alcohol is often thought of as a sleep aid, but its effects on dreams are more complex. After drinking, people may fall asleep more quickly, but alcohol suppresses sleep in the first half of the night. The brain delays the dream stage, holding it back. As the alcohol wears off later, comes rushing back in longer, more intense bursts. This rebound can create vivid, restless, and sometimes disturbing dreams, often in the early morning hours. People may also wake more frequently, making those dreams easier to remember. This pattern helps explain why sleep after drinking often feels less restorative, even if you spend many hours in bed. The brain appears to insist on completing its REM cycles. And when it has been blocked, the catch-up can be overwhelming. What feels like deep sleep after alcohol is often a restless negotiation between sedation and the need to dream. Cannabis can stopping can unleash vivid dreaming. Cannabis interacts with brain systems that regulate sleep, particularly those involving endocannabinoids and neurotransmitters like GABA and dopamine. Regular use is known to suppress sleep, reducing the number and vividness of dreams. Some people even report going for weeks or months without recalling a single dream while using cannabis regularly. But when you stop, something interesting happens. Sleep rebounds. The brain increases dream intensity, often producing a flood of vivid or even bizarre dreams. This rebound can be surprising, especially for people who hadn't remembered dreaming in years. The effect usually tapers off as the brain adjusts. Researchers are still studying how cannabis affects long-term sleep architecture, but the findings show how sensitive dreaming is to brain chemistry. What seems like simple relaxation before bed can over time shift not only how deeply we sleep, but how richly we dream when the effect wears off. Beta blockers are notorious for strange dreams and nightmares. Beta blockers are medications often prescribed for high blood pressure or heart conditions. They work by blocking certain stress-related signals in the body, particularly those involving adrenaline. For reasons not yet fully understood, they can also disrupt sleep. Many people who start beta blockers report unusually vivid dreams, strange imagery, or frequent nightmares. Some describe dream content that is more negative or emotionally charged than usual. Scientists suspect this effect comes from changes in norepinephrine activity, since the drug alters how the brain regulates arousal and memory during sleep. While not dangerous, the experiences can be unsettling, and doctors sometimes adjust medication or timing to reduce them. This connection highlights how tightly linked the chemistry of the brain is to the stories we experience at night. Even medicines aimed at the heart can ripple through the sleeping mind, shaping what we dream about and how we feel when we wake. Pregnancy often brings more vivid, emotionally rich dreams. During pregnancy, many people notice that their dreams become unusually intense, colorful, and emotionally charged. Hormonal changes, especially in progesterone and estrogen, can alter sleep architecture and increase the time spent in sleep. At the same time, the body is going through rapid physical changes, and the mind is preparing for a major life shift. These factors together make dream content more vivid and memorable. Pregnant dreamers often describe scenarios involving water, animals, or themes of protection and vulnerability. Some researchers think these dreams reflect the mind's way of processing the anticipation, anxiety, and excitement of parenthood. Others point out that frequent night awakenings during pregnancy also boost dream recall since memories fade quickly unless captured right away. Whatever the reason, the vivid dream world of pregnancy seems to be one way the brain rehearses and explores what it means to nurture new life. Fever can make dreams bizarre and intensely visual. Many people notice that when they have a fever, their dreams take on a surreal, sometimes unsettling quality. These fever dreams are often more vivid, distorted, or emotionally intense than typical dreams. Research suggests that elevated body temperature can disrupt normal sleep cycles, leading to unusual patterns of brain activity. Higher temperatures may increase cortical activation and alter how sensory information is processed, producing more vivid imagery and stranger narratives. Some dreamers describe seeing shifting colors, melting landscapes, or impossible creatures. Others report anxious themes like being trapped or overwhelmed. While uncomfortable, fever dreams may reflect the brain's attempt to adapt under physiological stress. Some scientists even wonder if the unusual dream content has a role in signaling illness to the body, though evidence is limited. What's certain is that fever changes the way the sleeping brain operates, making its inner stories more surreal and more memorable. Sleep apnea fragments, REM, and alters dream recall. Sleep apnea is a condition where breathing repeatedly stops during the night, often without the sleeper realizing. Each pause in breathing forces a brief awakening, even if the person doesn't remember it. These interruptions fragment sleep cycles and cut into stages. As a result, people with untreated apnea often report fewer remembered dreams since the brain struggles to sustain the continuous activity that vivid dreaming requires. In some cases, however, the frequent awakenings actually increase recall because people wake directly from dreams before they can fade. Dream content in apnea patients is sometimes more anxious or distressing, reflecting the body's struggle for air. This overlap may contribute to nightmares or panic upon waking. The condition also raises risks for cardiovascular disease and daytime sleepiness. Understanding its effect on dreams highlights how vital healthy breathing is, not just for the body but for the mind's nightly work. Treating apnea can change dream patterns markedly. When people with sleep apnea begin using continuous positive airway pressure or CPAP, they often notice a dramatic change in their dream life. By preventing the pauses in breathing that interrupt sleep, CPAP allows the brain to enter longer, more stable stages. In the first nights of treatment, people sometimes report an overwhelming surge of vivid dreams. This is a form of rebound, the brain catching up on dream time it had been missing. Over weeks, the pattern usually evens out. Dreams become less chaotic, awakenings are fewer, and sleep feels more restorative. For some, the return of dreams is a welcome sign that the therapy is working. For others, vivid early dreams can be unsettling, but typically fade as normal rhythms return. These changes show how closely dream content is tied to the body's physiology and how restoring healthy sleep can reshape the night. Narcolepsy brings vivid dream intrusions at sleep onset. Narcolepsy is a sleep disorder where the boundary between waking and dreaming is unusually thin. People with narcolepsy who may in turn sleep almost immediately after dozing off, bypassing the usual stages. That can mean vivid dream imagery intrudes into waking moments. Someone might begin to dream while still partly aware of their surroundings, leading to hallucinations that feel real and sometimes frightening. These experiences are often accompanied by sudden loss of muscle tone known as cataplexy, especially during strong emotions like laughter or surprise. Narcoleptic dreams are typically more vivid and bizarre, sometimes blending seamlessly with reality. This overlap can be confusing, but it also provides researchers with insights into how flexible the boundary between sleep and wakefulness really is. By studying narcolepsy, scientists gain clues about how is controlled and why dreaming, normally contained to the night, can sometimes spill into waking life. Cataplexy shows how emotion can trigger like paralysis. Cataplexy is a sudden temporary loss of muscle control, often triggered by strong emotions like laughter, excitement, or anger. It happens most often in people with narcolepsy, and researchers believe it reflects sleep mechanisms intruding into waking life. In REM, the brainstem normally shuts down motor control so we don't act out dreams. In cataplexy, that same paralysis suddenly switches on while the person is awake. Muscles may go limp, knees buckle, or the person may collapse, though consciousness usually remains intact. These episodes can be brief but disruptive, especially when triggered by social or emotional events. Studying cataplexy reveals how tightly linked emotion is to the neural circuits that govern atonia. It suggests that the system evolved to pair strong feelings with immobilization, perhaps as part of the brain's ancient threat responses. In narcolepsy, that protective system misfires, offering a vivid glimpse into dream physiology gone astray. REM sleep behavior disorder plays dreams out in real life. In sleep, the body should be paralyzed, but in sleep behavior disorder, that safeguard fails. People with this condition physically act out their dreams, sometimes talking, shouting, kicking, or leaping from bed. Often the dreams themselves are intense, filled with action, fights, or chases, so the movements can be sudden and dangerous. Injuries to the sleeper or bed partner are not uncommon. Doctors usually recommend making the sleep environment safe and in many cases prescribe medications that suppress the abnormal activity. While disruptive, this condition is also revealing. It shows just how closely connected dreams are to the brain's motor systems and how much work the body usually does to keep us still during. When that mechanism breaks down, the line between imagination and action disappears and the dream literally spills into the waking world around us. RBD is a strong early marker for synuclein diseases. REM sleep behavior disorder or RBD is more than a sleep condition. Long-term studies show that a large proportion of people diagnosed with RBD go on to develop neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's disease, multiple system atrophy, or dementia with Lewy bodies. These disorders share a feature: the buildup of abnormal clumps of a protein called alpha-synuclein in the brain. The motor systems affected in RBD are often the same ones that show early signs of damage in these conditions. Because RBD can appear years before other symptoms, doctors see it as one of the most reliable early warning signs. Detecting it early allows for closer monitoring, lifestyle adjustments, and participation in clinical trials that test preventive treatments. What looks like a sleep disorder may in fact be the brain signaling its first struggles with much larger diseases long before tremors or memory problems appear in waking life. PTSD can pack sleep with recurring emotionally loaded dreams. For people with post-traumatic stress disorder, dreams often become a nightly replay of distressing events. Instead of shifting and transforming, the brain repeatedly returns to the same scenes, sometimes with vivid sensory detail and overwhelming emotion. This repetition can make sleep a source of dread, reinforcing anxiety rather than releasing it. Research shows that these dreams are linked to overactivation of the amygdala and disruptions in the normal chemistry of them. The usual function of dreaming to soften and integrate emotional memories becomes stuck, preventing healing. Nightmares may repeat the trauma almost exactly, or they may twist into symbolic versions that carry the same fear. Understanding this pattern has helped shape therapies that address not only the waking symptoms of PTSD, but also the dream life that sustains them. Dreams, normally a place of creativity and rehearsal, can become a stage for unrelenting memory. Nightmare therapies can reduce distress and improve sleep. Nightmares are treatable, and many approaches work without medication. Imagery rehearsal therapy is one of the most effective. People write down a recurring nightmare, then create a new, less frightening ending while awake. By rehearsing the new version daily, the brain can adopt it as the preferred storyline, reducing the frequency and intensity of nightmares over time. Other techniques include relaxation training, mindfulness, and targeted use of sounds or scents during sleep to shift dream mood. For people with trauma-related nightmares, certain medications may also help, but therapy often remains the first step. Reducing nightmares can improve sleep quality, mood, and even daytime functioning. For many, it's a relief to know that nightmares are not an unchangeable curse. The brain's dream-making machinery is flexible, and with gentle guidance, it can learn to turn frightening nights into experiences that feel safer and less overwhelming. Children dream differently. Children's dreams aren't just shorter. They're shaped by the way their brains and imaginations are still developing. Young kids often describe dreams filled with animals, monsters, or simple adventures rather than complex social dramas. The storylines can be fragmented, more like snapshots than continuous plots. As they grow older, the dreams gradually gain structure with richer settings and more realistic interactions. Researchers believe this reflects the maturing of the brain's visual and cognitive systems, which support narrative and perspective taking. Childhood dreams can also be more openly emotional with themes of being chased, lost, or separated from parents. These themes may mirror the challenges of growing independence. For many adults, looking back at early dreams reveals how the mind was rehearsing not just events, but the very act of making sense of the world. Childhood dreaming is a window into how imagination and emotion first take shape. Adolescents report more intense and social dream themes. As children move into adolescence, their dreams begin to change. The simple animal-filled stories of early childhood give way to more complex and socially charged scenarios. Teenagers often dream of school, friends, and relationships, sometimes with a heightened sense of drama. Emotional intensity increases too, with more frequent themes of conflict, embarrassment, or romance. Brain development helps explain the shift. During adolescence, networks involved in self-awareness, identity, and social reasoning are rapidly changing, and dreams seem to mirror those new concerns. Dream reports from teens contain more conversations, more conflict, and more interactions with peers compared to younger children. These dreams may serve as a kind of overnight rehearsal for navigating social challenges, testing responses in the safety of a dream world. For many teenagers, dreams can feel as real and emotionally charged as waking life, reflecting the turbulent process of growing up. Older adults recall fewer dreams, but not necessarily fewer. As people age, they often say they dream less. In reality, research suggests the amount of sleep, where the most vivid dreaming occurs, does not decline dramatically after early adulthood. What changes is dream recall. Older adults wake less often in the middle of REM, so they miss the chance to capture dream memories before they fade. Memory processes also shift with age, making it harder to hold on to fleeting dream fragments. As a result, dreams may feel less frequent, even if they are still occurring. Interestingly, when older adults are awakened directly from in the lab, many can still report dreams with detail. The content also shifts. Fewer chase scenes, fewer intense social conflicts, and more everyday situations, often calm or reflective. These changes suggest that dreaming adapts across the lifespan, mirroring the evolving priorities and emotional landscapes of each stage of life. Chronotype shifts dream timing and themes across the night. Everyone has a natural rhythm, often described as being a morning person or a night owl. This biological tendency called chronotype influences not just when we feel alert but also when our dreams are most vivid. Morning types often experience stronger dream recall from earlier in the night because their sleep pressure builds quickly and they reach deep sleep sooner. Night owls tend to have longer later phases, leading to more memorable dreams closer to morning. Dream themes may shift too. Evening types often report more social and adventurous dream content, while morning types recall calmer or more routine scenes. These differences reflect how circadian rhythms interact with sleep stages and brain chemistry. Our internal clocks shape not only when we sleep best, but also how the dreaming mind unfolds. In a sense, your natural sleep schedule can color both the timing and the tone of your inner stories. Most REM clusters late in the night toward morning. Sleep cycles repeat roughly every 90 minutes, moving through light sleep, deep sleep, and REM. In the first half of the night, deep slow-wave sleep dominates. REM periods are short, often just a few minutes. But as the night goes on, deep sleep shrinks and expands. By the early morning hours, can last 40 minutes or more, making those final cycles rich with vivid dreaming. This is why people often remember their last dream of the night. It happens just before waking during the longest stretch of it. It also explains why cutting sleep short reduces dream recall. If you wake up too early, you may miss the most dream-filled part of the night. The natural rhythm of sleep builds toward these long immersive episodes, giving the brain a chance to consolidate memories, process emotions, and create the strange and colorful narratives we call dreams. Lucid dreams are more likely in late night. Lucid dreaming tends to occur most often in the final hours of sleep during long stretches of by then the brain is especially active and awakenings are more common, creating moments where awareness can slip in without breaking the dream. People who practice lucid dream techniques often set alarms to wake themselves briefly in the middle of the night, then return to bed. This increases the odds of entering with the mind slightly more alert. Studies confirm that late nighttime not only lasts longer, but also includes more elaborate plots and self-reflective moments, which may make it easier to recognize the dream as a dream. For those hoping to explore lucid dreaming, timing matters as much as technique. The early morning hours are when the boundary between waking and dreaming is at its thinnest, offering the clearest chance to step into conscious dreaming. Reality checks by day can carry into dream awareness. One way people train for lucid dreaming is by performing reality checks while awake. These are simple tests like trying to push a finger through your palm or reading the same line of text twice to see if it changes. The idea is to make the habit so automatic that you eventually do it in a dream. Because dreams often distort physical laws, the test fails in a noticeable way. The finger passes through or the text shifts when you look again. That moment of surprise can spark lucidity, letting you realize you're dreaming without waking. Research shows that dreamers who practice regular reality checks during the day are more likely to become lucid at night. It's a way of planting awareness into the unconscious mind. Over time, the habit of questioning reality can carry over into sleep, creating opportunities to explore the dream world deliberately. The MILD technique primes the mind to notice dreaming. MILD stands for Mnemonic Induction of Lucid Dreams, a method developed by sleep researcher Stephen Learch. The practice begins with waking up after a few hours of sleep when periods are getting longer. Before falling back asleep, you recall a recent dream in detail and repeat an intention. The next time I'm dreaming, I will remember that I'm dreaming. This combination of memory rehearsal and intention setting helps the mind carry awareness into the next cycle. In studies, MILD has been shown to significantly increase the likelihood of lucid dreams, especially when paired with brief awakenings in the night. It works because it takes advantage of the brain's natural tendency to replay memories during sleep. By focusing attention on the idea of noticing, you're training yourself to recognize the signs of dreaming. For many beginners, MILD is one of the most accessible and effective techniques available. WBTB timing catches surges and boosts lucidity. Wake back to bed or WBTB is one of the most reliable ways to encourage lucid dreaming. The method is simple. After sleeping for 4 to 6 hours, you wake up for a short period, often around 20 to 60 minutes. During that time, you might read about lucid dreaming or practice intention setting. Then you go back to bed. Because periods are longer in the early morning, this return to sleep often drops you directly into a dream. Your brain is also slightly more alert after the brief wakefulness, which makes it easier to notice that you are dreaming. Studies show that WBTB, especially when combined with techniques like MILD, can significantly boost success rates. It may feel counterintuitive to wake yourself at night, but many dreamers find that the payoff, stepping consciously into a dream world, outweighs the momentary loss of continuous sleep. Sealed cycle senses to spark lucidity for some. A newer technique for lucid dreaming is called SS, which stands for Sense-Initiated Lucid Dreaming. The idea is to train the brain's awareness by cycling through your senses. As you lie in bed, you focus first on what you see behind closed eyes, then on sounds around you, then on bodily sensations like touch or heartbeat. You repeat this cycle several times without trying too hard, letting your attention gently shift. The exercise seems to prime the brain to notice subtle differences between waking perception and dream perception. In studies, people who practiced SSAL before going back to sleep after a brief awakening reported more lucid dreams. The method is simple and doesn't require special equipment. It works best when approached with curiosity rather than effort because pushing too hard can keep you awake. For many, Shell is a calming nightly ritual that sometimes opens the door to dream awareness. Galantamine can dramatically raise lucid dream success rates. Galantamine is a medication originally developed to treat memory decline in conditions like Alzheimer's disease. It works by boosting acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter heavily involved in attention and sleep. Sleep researchers discovered that taking a small dose of galantamine during the night, often combined with the wake-back-to-bed method, can sharply increase the chances of having a lucid dream. In studies, success rates more than doubled compared to using mental techniques alone. Dreamers not only became lucid more often, but their dreams were also longer and more vivid. Still, this is not a casual tool. Galantamine can cause side effects such as nausea or changes in heart rate, and it should never be taken without medical supervision. The finding is important, though. It shows that chemical nudges can dramatically change dream awareness, offering clues to how neurotransmitters help maintain the delicate balance of the dreaming brain. Once lucid, dream control gets much easier with practice. At first, people who become lucid in their dreams often find themselves so excited that they wake up quickly. Even if they stay asleep, they may have only partial control. A dreamer might manage to look at their hands or float upward, but then lose focus as the dream shifts away. With practice, however, control becomes more reliable. Experienced lucid dreamers describe stabilizing the dream by rubbing their hands together, spinning around, or focusing on details like textures and sounds. These actions seem to anchor the mind inside the dream. Over time, dreamers learn to shape environments, summon objects, or direct the storyline. The key is balance. Too much effort can break the dream, while gentle focus keeps it going. This process shows that the dream world is responsive but fragile, like a canvas that holds together best when handled with patience and steady attention. Rehearsing skills in lucid dreams can feel strikingly real. When you practice a skill in a lucid dream, the experience can be astonishingly lifelike. Athletes report running drills, dancers rehearse choreography, and musicians play instruments, all with vivid sensory detail. Brain imaging studies show that during these dream rehearsals, the motor cortex and other movement-related areas are acted in patterns that resemble real practice. Some research suggests that people who rehearse tasks in lucid dreams may perform better when awake, as if the brain has strengthened the pathways through mental simulation. The dream world offers a unique training ground. Mistakes carry no risk and impossible scenarios can be explored. Imagine practicing a speech before an audience that never judges or trying out a daring move without the fear of falling. While more studies are needed to measure how much improvement transfers to waking performance, the possibility of training skills while asleep is deeply intriguing. Lucid dreamers can dampen nightmares from the inside. For people troubled by nightmares, lucid dreaming offers a potential escape route. When a dreamer becomes aware that they are dreaming, they can sometimes change the story. A monster can be confronted, a terrifying scene can be transformed, or the dream can be ended altogether. Studies show that people who learn lucid dreaming techniques often report fewer nightmares and less distress when they occur. The shift isn't always about turning the dream into something pleasant. Sometimes it's simply about recognizing that the danger isn't real. That recognition itself can reduce fear. In some cases, people even use lucidity to face fears directly, testing new responses in the safe space of the dream world. While not everyone can achieve lucidity reliably, for those who can, it offers a remarkable tool. The ability to reshape fear from within, transforming night terrors into opportunities for control and calm. Heart rate and breathing track dream emotions subtly. Even though your body is paralyzed during sleep, your internal systems still respond to what you dream. Researchers who monitor heart rate and breathing patterns have found that they often reflect the emotions happening in dreams. A frightening chase might cause heartbeats to race. A peaceful dream may slow the rhythm of breathing. These changes are not just random. They mirror the intensity of the dream world. In some studies, dreamers who became lucid were able to deliberately slow their breathing inside the dream, and the effect showed up clearly on external monitors. This connection highlights how closely linked the sleeping mind and body remain. Emotions and dreams are not abstract. They ripple into the heart, lungs, and nervous system, leaving subtle traces that scientists can measure. Even as the body lies still, the rhythms of dreaming stir within, showing how deeply real these experiences feel. Pupillary signals shift during waking emotion. When we are awake, our pupils respond not just to light but also to emotions and mental effort. They widen with surprise, excitement, or concentration. Remarkably, a similar effect happens during sleep. Even though the eyes are closed, researchers using infrared cameras have found that the pupils still change size in ways that match dream content. When dreamers report excitement or fear, their pupils often dilate. When they are calm, pupils constrict. These shifts occur alongside rapid eye movements, giving scientists another window into the hidden activity of dreaming. The findings suggest that emotions during sleep are not just imagined. They have real physical signatures in the body. It also shows that the mechanisms linking mind and body remain active even when consciousness is altered. Your pupils, invisible in the dark, still mirror the intensity of the dream, silently echoing the feelings of your sleeping mind. The hippocampus replays daytime routes during sleep. The hippocampus is a seahorse-shaped structure deep in the brain, essential for memory and navigation. During sleep, IGR plays patterns of activity that occurred during the day. In rodents, scientists have recorded neurons firing in the same order they did when the animal ran through a maze, but at a faster, compressed pace. Humans show similar patterns in brain imaging studies. This replay is thought to help consolidate memories, transferring them from short-term storage into more stable networks across the cortex. It also links experiences together, weaving separate events into broader knowledge. The process often coincides with REM sleep and its vivid dreams. This overlap suggests that dream imagery may partly reflect the brain rehearsing routes, experiences, and sequences. What feels like a strange dream journey might at its core be your hippocampus running through the day's paths, strengthening the map of your personal world. Sleeping rats rehearse mazes step by step. Some of the clearest evidence for memory replay during sleep comes from research with rats. In experiments, rats are trained to run through mazes while scientists record electrical activity from their hippocampal neurons. Each place in the maze activates a unique set of place cells. Later, while the rats sleep, the same cells fire again in the same order, but much more quickly, as though the rat's brain is replaying its path in fast motion. Sometimes the replay even runs backward as if the brain were reviewing the route from the finish back to the start. These reactivations happen during bursts of activity called sharp wave ripples, which are linked to memory consolidation. The findings suggest that sleep is not idle at all. The brain is using the quiet hours to practice, strengthen, and reorganize experiences. So the next time the animal navigates the maze, it performs better. Birds practice their songs at night like lessons. Some birds don't just learn their songs while awake. In sleep labs, researchers record neural activity in young birds as they slumber. The patterns often replay the same sequences that occur when the birds sing during the day. In some cases, the sleeping bird even makes faint vocalizations as if rehearsing under its breath. This replay is thought to help fine-tune the timing and structure of songs, which are critical for communication and mating. In experiments, when birds hear recordings of their tutor's song during sleep, their brain activity shifts as though they are integrating the new material. By morning, their practice songs can sound more polished. This suggests that dreams may play a role in learning not only for humans but across species. For birds, the night becomes a rehearsal hall where circuits are strengthened and melodies are shaped, all while the animal rests. Octopuses show color-ranging sleep that looks dreamlike. Octopuses sleep, and during certain phases their bodies put on a show. Their skin ripples with shifting colors and patterns as if they were camouflaging or signaling even though no one is watching. Their eyes twitch and their bodies sometimes move in brief bursts. Researchers call this an active sleep state comparable to in mammals. Some scientists believe the color changes could be the octopus dreaming, replaying daytime experiences like hunting or hiding. Others suggest it may be a kind of neural recalibration, rehearsing patterns that are important for survival. We cannot ask an octopus what it experienced, but the visible display offers a rare glimpse into its inner life. It suggests that the capacity for dreamlike states may be more widespread in the animal kingdom than once thought, reaching far beyond mammals into the mysterious shape-shifting minds of creatures of the sea. Some reptiles display like sleep cycles too. For many years, scientists thought that dreaming was unique to mammals and birds. Reptiles with their slower metabolisms and simpler brains seemed unlikely candidates. But recent studies using tiny electrodes have revealed something surprising. Certain lizards and other reptiles show alternating sleep states, including periods that look remarkably alike. During these phases, their brains display fast electrical activity, and their eyes shift beneath their closed lids. Whether reptiles actually dream is harder to prove since we can't ask them what they experience, but the presence of like cycles suggests that the roots of dreaming may stretch much further back in evolutionary history than once believed. If so, the ability to generate inner worlds could be a deep biological trait present for hundreds of millions of years. Dreams, it seems, may not just be a human mystery but a shared feature of life on Earth. Newborns spend a huge share of sleep in. Newborn babies sleep for most of the day, often 16 hours or more. Strikingly, around half of that time is spent in sleep, far more than in adults who usually spend only about 20% of the night in this stage. Scientists think this abundance of REM may be essential for brain development. In newborns, the brain is still wiring itself, creating vast numbers of new connections. The vivid activity of REM may provide stimulation that helps shape those networks before babies can explore the world fully. Parents often notice infants twitching, smiling, or making small movements in their sleep, signs that the brain is active even in the cradle. Over the first few years of life, the proportion gradually decreases as waking experience takes over as the main source of learning. Dreams in this sense may help build the very foundation of the mind. Human fetuses show like activity before birth. Even before birth, the human brain appears to dream. Ottoman studies show that fetuses in the final months of pregnancy display sleep cycles, including active states with rapid eye movements. Their eyes shift beneath closed lids and bursts of neural activity ripple across the brain. Researchers believe this fetal-like state may be crucial for brain development. Because the fetus has limited sensory input, the internally generated activity of REM could provide practice for processing sights, sounds, and movements it has not yet experienced. Some scientists suggest that the fetus may even have primitive dreamlike sensations, perhaps flashes of light, warmth, or rhythm. Whether these are truly dreams is still debated, but the activity is unmistakable. Long before a baby takes its first breath, its brain is already rehearsing the art of perception, building the neural circuits that will one day create waking and dreaming life. Dogs twitch as dream commands leak past paralysis. Anyone who has lived with a dog has probably seen it twitch, kick, or whimper in its sleep. These small movements often look like running or pawing, as though the dog were chasing something in a dream. In sleep, muscles are normally paralyzed to prevent acting out dreams, but tiny signals sometimes slip through the brainstem's block. In humans, this results in subtle twitches of fingers or eyes. In dogs, the movements can be larger, perhaps because of differences in how their motor systems are wired. Scientists believe these twitches reflect fragments of dream commands, the brain sending instructions to move with just enough activity leaking out to be visible. The behavior offers a glimpse into their inner lives. While we can't know exactly what dogs dream, the sight of paws paddling in sleep suggests that their nights, like ours, are filled with vivid adventures. Elephants sleep little and have sparsome. Most mammals need a substantial amount of sleep each day, but elephants are an exception. In the wild, they may sleep as little as 2 to 4 hours per night, less than any other known mammal. They often rest while standing, and they may go for days without lying down. Because sleep requires the body to be deeply relaxed, elephants enter this stage only every few days and usually only when lying on their sides. Despite such limited dream time, elephants are known for their intelligence, memory, and social complexity. This challenges the idea that long sleep is essential for advanced cognition. Some researchers suggest that elephants may replay memories or process emotions in other ways, perhaps during NONM sleep. Their unusual sleep patterns remind us that there is no single blueprint for how brains restore themselves at night, even among the most intelligent species. Dolphins sleep one hemisphere at a time, which makes dreaming tricky. Dolphins live in a world where staying alert can mean survival. To breathe, they must surface regularly even while resting. Their solution is uni-hemispheric slow-wave sleep, shutting down one half of the brain while the other stays awake. This allows one eye to stay open and the dolphin to keep swimming, surfacing, and watching for predators. But it raises a mystery. Do dolphins dream? Because sleep usually involves full-body paralysis, it would be risky for an animal that must keep moving to breathe. Studies suggest dolphins either have very short bursts of or a modified version of it. Some researchers believe they may still experience dreamlike imagery, but it likely looks very different from the vivid human kind. Others think dolphins may have evolved to dream less or in another way entirely. In the ocean's vast expanse, survival may have reshaped the very nature of dreaming. The paradoxical sleep name reflects an active sleeping brain. Sleep is sometimes called paradoxical sleep, and the reason lies in its contradictions. To an outside observer, a person looks deeply asleep. Their muscles are limp, their body still. But inside the skull, the brain is buzzing with activity. In fact, brain waves during resemble those of wakefulness more than deep sleep. It is a paradox. The body is immobilized, yet the brain is alive with rapid patterns, emotional surges, and vivid imagery. This discovery puzzled researchers when they first measured it in the 1950s. How could someone appear unconscious while their brain looked as though it were wide awake? Today we know this paradox is at the heart of dreaming. Sleep is not a simple switch that turns the mind off. It is a shifting balance of states where deep rest and mental activity coexist in a nightly rhythm of restoration and imagination. REM-atonia is built by brainstem and spinal circuits. One of the most mysterious features of sleep is atonia, the paralysis that prevents us from acting out our dreams. Scientists have traced this mechanism to circuits in the brainstem and spinal cord. During REM, these areas send powerful inhibitory signals that silence most motor neurons, effectively disconnecting the brain's commands from the muscles. Without this system, dream movements would be carried out in real life, as happens in sleep behavior disorder. Animal studies have shown that disabling these circuits causes cats or rodents to leap, run, or pounce in their sleep, acting out their dream content. The paralysis isn't total. Small twitches often slip through, but overall it keeps sleepers safe. Understanding atonia has practical importance too. Disorders that weaken or disrupt this system can be early signs of neurological disease, and studying it reveals just how carefully the brain balances safety with dreaming. The amygdala runs hot while executive controls. The amygdala is a small almond-shaped structure deep in the brain that plays a central role in processing emotions, especially fear and threat. During sleep, it becomes unusually active. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic, planning, and self-control, becomes quiet. This combination may explain why dreams often feel so emotional and unpredictable. We can be terrified one moment and euphoric the next without questioning the contradictions. The heightened amygdala activity may also serve a purpose. Some researchers think it helps the brain revisit emotional memories in a safe context, reducing their sting by re-experiencing them without real consequences. The quieting of executive control allows emotions to play out more freely, unfiltered by waking reason. Dreams then may be a kind of nightly workshop where the brain experiments with emotions, helping us adapt to the challenges of waking life. The prefrontal cortex quiets, metacognition drops, and less lucid. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain most associated with planning, decision and self-awareness, goes quiet during sleep. This is one reason why most dreams feel real while we are in them. The brain is less able to step back and notice contradictions. Flying seems normal. Talking animals don't raise questions. Logic fades and imagination takes over. But in lucid dreaming, something unusual happens. Parts of the prefrontal cortex switch back on, restoring a degree of self-reflection. Suddenly, the dreamer realizes this is a dream. With practice, that awareness can be strengthened, giving the dreamer more control over the unfolding story. The contrast shows how much our sense of reality depends on the prefrontal cortex. When it rests, we surrender to the flow of images and emotions. When it re-engages, we regain perspective, even if the world around us is made entirely of dreams. Theta rhythms help bind scenes into a dream narrative. During sleep, the brain produces a distinctive type of electrical activity called theta rhythms. These slow rolling waves are also present when we're awake and deeply focused, or when we're remembering past experiences. In dreams, theta rhythms seem to help the brain stitch together fragments of memory, emotion, and imagination into flowing narratives. Without them, dreams might remain a jumble of disconnected images. Studies show that stronger theta activity during sleep is linked to better memory integration and more vivid dream recall. It's as if theta rhythms act like a thread, weaving scattered pieces into a coherent tapestry. That weaving process may be one reason dreams sometimes connect surprising elements. A conversation from yesterday, a place from childhood, a worry about tomorrow. The brain binds them into a story, guided by these subtle rhythms, creating the strange but meaningful flow of dream life. Slow waves gate which outside cues get woven in. Even in sleep, the brain doesn't shut out the world completely. Slow waves, deep rolling brain patterns that dominate non-REM sleep, act as a kind of gatekeeper. During the peaks of these waves, the brain is more receptive to outside stimuli like sounds or touches. During the troughs, it is less responsive. Experiments show that playing a sound during the receptive phase makes it more likely to be incorporated into the dream, while the same sound during the quiet phase might pass unnoticed. This gating may be a protective system, letting the brain stay mostly undisturbed while still catching important signals. It also offers a way for researchers to influence dreams gently by timing cues to these rhythms. What this reveals is that dreaming is not sealed off from the environment. The brain listens in waves, choosing when to let the outside world slip into its inner stories. Smells nudge dream mood without appearing as smells. Unlike sights or sounds, smells rarely appear directly in dreams. Few people report sniffing flowers or tasting meals in their sleep. Yet, research shows that smells can still influence dream emotions. In experiments, pleasant scents like roses introduced during sleep often soften dream tone, while unpleasant ones like rotten eggs can create darker or more anxious experiences. Strikingly, the smells usually don't appear as smells in the dream. Instead, they shift the atmosphere. A nightmare might become less threatening, or a neutral dream might take on a soothing warmth. This suggests that the olfactory system bypasses conscious perception during sleep, sending signals straight to emotional centers of the brain. It's a reminder of how powerful scent can be even unnoticed. Our dreams are not simply inventions of the mind. They are shaped by the body's senses, weaving in influences we may never realize were there. A gentle tap can appear as a doorknob. Touch, like sound, can seep into dreams in unexpected ways. A light tap on the skin during sleep often doesn't wake the dreamer. Instead, the sensation is transformed into part of the dream storyline. A gentle pressure on the hand might become the feel of holding an object. A tap on the shoulder may turn into someone knocking at the door. Scientists have tested this in sleep labs, applying faint touches during and then asking people what they dreamed. Many report dream scenes that included contact, knocks or pressure, directly tied to the stimulation. This shows how the dreaming brain works to explain every signal it receives, whether internal or external. Rather than ignoring the input, it fits it into the ongoing story. The result is a seamless blend where the outside world and the inner narrative overlap in ways that feel perfectly natural. An alarm often morphs into a phone ringing in the dream. One of the most common experiences is the way alarm clocks sneak into dreams. Instead of waking immediately, the sound may first be woven into the dream itself. The ringing could become a phone call, a doorbell, or even a siren in the distance. Dreamers often describe continuing the dream for a few moments before realizing the sound is real. This happens because the dreaming brain works hard to maintain a coherent storyline. When an unfamiliar sound intrudes, it quickly finds a way to explain it within the dream's context. Eventually, as the sound continues, the sleeper wakes. But that moment of blending highlights how porous the boundary between dreaming and waking can be. It also shows how determined the brain is to protect sleep. Even in the face of an alarm, it tries to keep the dream alive just a little longer. Learning before bed makes related dreams more likely. If you study or practice a skill before going to sleep, there's a good chance it will show up in your dreams. This effect has been found in many experiments. People who spend the evening playing a video game, practicing a piano piece, or studying for a test often report dream content that echoes those activities. The dreams don't always replay the experience directly. Instead, fragments appear, shapes from the game, sounds from the music, or settings from the study material. What's remarkable is that these dream appearances often predict better performance the next day. The brain seems to use sleep as a time to reinforce and integrate what was learned, with dreaming serving as a byproduct of that process. Far from being idle, the night can be a continuation of the day's lessons. Sleep becomes not just rest, but rehearsal, silently strengthening new skills and memories. The Tetris effect spills game patterns straight into dreams. When people play a repetitive game like Tetris for long periods, something strange happens. At night, they often dream of falling blocks, shifting patterns, or visual fragments of the game. This phenomenon is known as the Tetris effect. It isn't limited to games. People who spend hours skiing may dream of slopes, while those learning chess might see boards and pieces in their sleep. Even people with memory loss who cannot recall playing the game while awake still dream of its falling shapes, suggesting the effect comes from unconscious replay in the brain. Scientists believe this reflects the hippocampus and visual areas rehearsing the day's activity. The dreams are not complete narratives, but flashes and repetitions like mental after images. The Tetris effect is a clear reminder that what we do while awake doesn't stop at bedtime. The brain continues working on it, often turning it into dream imagery. Dreaming can boost creative problem solving by morning. Some of the most famous creative breakthroughs have been linked to dreams. Chemist Auguste Cueillet dreamt of the snake biting its tail and realized the ring structure of benzene. Musicians have woken with new melodies, writers with story ideas, inventors with solutions. Scientific studies back up these anecdotes. People who sleep after working on a problem are more likely to find creative solutions than those who stay awake. Dreams seem to encourage novel connections by loosening the brain's usual rules of logic and association. Random fragments combine into new patterns, some of which prove useful when awake. The effect is strongest when the problem is complex or requires insight rather than simple memory. Dreams may not hand us finished answers, but they give the mind space to experiment, to connect distant ideas, and to wake with perspectives that feel fresh, surprising, and sometimes even brilliant. Targeted memory reactivation strengthens chosen memories overnight. When you learn something new, the brain begins the process of consolidating it into long-term storage. Scientists discovered that this process can be influenced with carefully timed cues. If a sound is paired with learning during the day, like a specific tone played while studying words or practicing a task, and the same sound is played again during sleep, the related memory is more likely to be strengthened. This technique is called targeted memory reactivation. People exposed to the cues at night often remember the linked material better the next morning, even without knowing they heard anything. The sound doesn't disturb sleep. It simply nudges the brain to replay the associated memory. The finding demonstrates how selective sleep can be, focusing on certain memories while letting others fade. It also hints at future possibilities where learning and therapy could be gently enhanced through the rhythms of dreaming. Targeted dream incubation can steer hypnagogic themes. A newer approach called targeted dream incubation explores how we might guide the content of dreams themselves. Using wearable devices, researchers detect when someone is drifting into hypnagogia, the hazy first stage of sleep. At just the right moment, the device delivers a soft auditory cue, such as a word or phrase. That prompt is often woven directly into the dream fragment. If the cue is tree, the dreamer may report seeing forests or roots. If it's river, they may describe water flowing. By repeating the process across cycles of light sleep, researchers can gently steer themes without waking the sleeper fully. Early experiments suggest this can boost creativity, helping people generate novel ideas tied to the chosen theme. It shows that dreams, while mysterious, are not entirely beyond influence. With subtle guidance, we can shape the direction of the mind's nightly wanderings, opening new possibilities for imagination. Brain-computer links have captured dream answers in real time. Lucid dreamers who realize they are dreaming can sometimes communicate with the outside world. In laboratory studies, participants were trained to signal by moving their eyes in patterns during sleep. When asked simple questions such as basic math problems, they were able to respond from within the dream by shifting their eyes left and right in agreed-upon codes. Researchers recorded the responses in real time while the dream was still happening. This showed for the first time that a two-way exchange of information is possible during dreams. The findings suggest that dreaming is not a sealed-off experience, but a state that can interact with waking reality. Though the conversations so far are simple, the idea of speaking with someone who is dreaming and receiving real answers from within their imagined world opens a new frontier in both neuroscience and our understanding of Qigong consciousness itself. People rarely write or read text cleanly in dreams. If you've ever tried to read a book or check your phone in a dream, you may have noticed something strange. The words don't stay still. Letters blur, rearrange, or change each time you look back. This happens because language processing in the brain relies heavily on regions in the left hemisphere that are much less active during REM sleep. Without those systems running smoothly, the brain struggles to generate consistent written text. Lucid dreamers often test reality by glancing at a clock or a page twice. If the numbers or letters shift, it's a clear sign they're dreaming. Interestingly, some people with especially vivid dream recall report rare moments when text holds steady. But this is unusual. Dreams seem to favor images, emotions, and sounds over words. They remind us that language, for all its power, may be secondary to the brain's deeper, more ancient forms of imagination. Mirrors and faces, often warped self-models, get unstable. Dreams are well known for their shifting landscapes, but they also distort something much closer, our own reflection. People often report looking into a mirror in a dream and seeing a face that flickers, blurs, or morphs into someone else's. Even the faces of others can stretch, twist, or merge with familiar features. Scientists think this happens because face recognition and self-representation rely on brain regions that normally coordinate with logical control areas in the prefrontal cortex. During sleep, those control systems are quiet, leaving perception more fluid and unstable. The dream brain stitches features together from memory fragments, but without the same checks that keep our waking sense of identity consistent. These warped self-image images can be unsettling, even nightmarish, but they reveal something profound. The face we recognize in the mirror each morning is not fixed, but a fragile mental construct held together by our waking consciousness. Out-of-body sensations can arise from intrusions. Some dreams create the uncanny feeling of leaving the body behind. People describe floating above themselves, watching from the ceiling, or drifting through walls. These out-of-body experiences often occur during sleep paralysis, when paralysis lingers even as awareness returns. The brain's parietal and vestibular systems, areas that track body position in space, can misfire, producing the sense that you are separate from your physical form. Similar sensations can be triggered in waking life through electrical stimulation of the brain, suggesting a shared mechanism. For some dreamers, the experience is frightening, associated with a sense of being trapped. For others, it feels liberating, like flying free from physical limits. Out-of-body dreams may reveal how much of our sense of self depends on the brain's internal map of the body. When that map glitches, the mind can conjure the extraordinary feeling of existing outside the skin. Sleep inertia blurs memory of dreams within minutes. Most of us wake up with only fragments of our dreams, if we remember them at all. One reason is a phenomenon called sleep inertia, the groggy state just after waking when the brain is still shifting from sleep to alertness. During this time, short-term memory is fragile. Dream content, already unstable, fades quickly if not captured. Studies show that even a 30-second delay in recalling a dream can erase much of its detail. That's why keeping a notebook by the bed helps. Writing down even a few words before moving or checking your phone can preserve the memory. Sleep inertia also explains why dreams can feel vivid when you wake up in the night only to vanish by morning. The dream world is delicate, dissolving into fragments unless we hold on to it immediately, like trying to grasp mist before the sun evaporates it away. A consistent wake time increases dream recall reliability. One of the tips to remember more dreams is to wake at the same time every day. When your sleep schedule is stable, your brain settles into more predictable cycles with long-term periods near the end of the night. If you wake during or right after these phases, you're much more likely to remember vivid dream content. Irregular sleep disrupts this pattern. Waking too early can cut off, while sleeping in too late can blur dream memories into morning grogginess. People who commit to a consistent wake time often find that dream recall improves naturally, even without a diary or special techniques. Over weeks, the brain seems to adapt, delivering clearer memories at the same point each morning. This steady rhythm provides a gentle way to reconnect with your dreaming self, proving that sometimes the simplest routines can unlock the most mysterious inner worlds. Sharing dreams with partners can increase closeness. Talking about dreams may feel like sharing something private, even intimate. Dreams are often strange, vulnerable, and deeply personal, reflecting our fears and desires in disguised form. Studies suggest that couples who share their dreams with each other often feel closer and more connected. Discussing a dream can spark conversations about emotions that might not otherwise come up, from hidden anxieties to unspoken hopes. It could also invite empathy as partners reflect on how dream characters and themes relate to real life. Some therapists even use dream sharing as a tool for relationship building. While dreams themselves may be fleeting, the conversations they inspire can deepen bonds. Sharing a dream is a way of saying, "Here is the private theater of my mind. I trust you with it." In this way, even the strangest nighttime visions can strengthen intimacy and understanding in our waking relationships. Most dream characters are familiar strangers or rarer than we think. It may seem like our dreams are crowded with strangers, but studies suggest that most dream characters are familiar faces. Often they are people we know well, family, friends, or coworkers. Sometimes they appear in disguise, blended with features from others, but still rooted in memory. Even when a figure seems like a stranger, research shows that the dreamer may have seen that face before, perhaps in passing on the street or in a photograph. The brain appears to recycle real images, even if we don't consciously remember them. This suggests that dreams may be a way of processing social knowledge, revisiting and reshaping our interactions. The characters are not random, but drawn from a lifetime of encounters. Dreams remind us how much of our inner world is built from memory, storing countless impressions that resurface in unexpected ways long after we've noticed them. Even with all this, dreaming still keeps its best secrets. For all the studies, theories, and experiments, dreaming remains mysterious. We know that the brain is active during sleep, replaying memories, processing emotions, and weaving vivid stories. We know that cues from the outside world can slip in and that chemical shifts shape the intensity of dreams. We even know that some animals may experience dreamlike states, showing patterns of brain activity and movement that closely resemble our own nights of inner storytelling. Yet despite decades of research, the ultimate purpose of dreaming remains open to debate. Is it a rehearsal space for survival, where the brain quietly practices responses to danger and desire? Is it a playground for creativity, where ideas blend freely without the limits of waking logic? Or is it simply the mind's natural byproduct, a gentle hum of neural activity continuing long after the lights go out? Perhaps dreaming is all of these things at once, or perhaps it serves a purpose we have not yet learned how to name. Dreams resist simple explanations, reminding us that not all mysteries are meant to be solved quickly. Some are meant to be lived with, slowly explored, and quietly felt. As you drift off tonight, you may find yourself stepping into that hidden theater once again, carried effortlessly by your own sleeping mind. And so, we've reached the end of our journey through 100 fascinating facts about dreams. From the first flickers of hypnagogic light at the edge of sleep to the mysterious echoes of memory and emotion, we've wandered through the landscapes our minds create when the world outside grows quiet. Dreaming remains one of science's most captivating puzzles. We can measure brain waves, trace eye movements, and even glimpse patterns of dream imagery with the help of artificial intelligence. Yet the heart of the dream, the personal shifting story that unfolds each night, still belongs only to you. As you settle into your own rest, you may notice fragments of your day softly blending with imagination. You might soar through impossible skies, wander unfamiliar places, or meet familiar faces transformed by the logic of sleep. However strange or gentle they seem, your dreams are yours alone, a private theater that opens every night, asking nothing from you but your presence. Thank you for drifting with me through this exploration. Sweet dreams, and until the next video, good night.